This was posted by the Washington Post. It says the headline reads, ICE has detained or deported prominent immigrant activists. The article goes on to suggest that several prominent immigrant activists were deported, and this prompted accusations from advocates that the Trump administration is improperly targeting political opponents. So they're trying to make him a tyrant. But then when you go on to read those cases, one of those people deported, he was deported, and this is from the article, for multiple felony convictions related to drug possession, according to ICE. And then the other guy, he was involved in a conspiracy to commit wire fraud and later sentenced to 30 months in prison and ordered to pay $350,000 restitution. That's fake news. If you read the headline, it is fake news.
And regretfully, that's what most people do anymore these days. Just read the headline.
Right. And this is an issue, part of it with the media. We're going to talk about this ethical, perspective. When the media fear-mongers like that, a lot of people don't read. A lot of people don't go on to read the articles. They just believe the headlines, and they have a responsibility to present people with accurate news. Like, I'll give you a simple example. Recently, after Trump got into office, just a few months afterwards, he made an executive order that says if someone gets caught for a traffic violation or anything of that sort, if the law enforcement felt that their legal status here, they could be here illegally, they should be able to provide with paperwork. Now, what that also entails, if that a person who's not there legally, then they're going to get deported. The headline on all the mainstream media was saying, Trump wants to deport immigrants for going past a traffic light, or for speeding, or for getting a parking ticket. Mike, what's your take on this, given your experience in politics? You ran for office before. You're not a establishment or traditional candidate. How do you feel?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. And I guess the first thing I'd like to draw attention to is this label of fake news. And both sides use it a lot. And in this particular case, the headline is clearly misleading to the under article. Whether you call that fake or not, I like to stay away from that. It's a sort of a polarizing term. You say fake news and that ends all discussion. It's kind of like, cliche, I believe in individual rights and you're a racist, and then end of debate. So I like to stay away from that word. It's very topical now. What we really have here is this immigration thing, that people come in here, they're not citizens, they're not going to become citizens, they're not going to go home, so are they a protected class? And in this particular case, you have a guest in the country. Someone's in our nation. They're here, whether they're here legally or illegally. If they commit a felony, and I believe you were referring to felony charges here. If
Wire
they're convicted
fraud, drugs.
There's no reason to keep them in the country, period. They have no rights under our Constitution to begin with. And if they're here committing felonies, I don't know if it really matters if they're a political activist or a celebrity for one side or another. If you cannot obey the basic laws of our country, why do we want to have them here? And why are we protecting them from the enforcement of the laws? When every other tax-paying citizen is obligated to follow the law and pays taxes to support our government, we have guests here that are not paying taxes, and they're a privileged class. They can live in the shadows. They have more rights and freedoms than tax-paying citizens. And that's fundamentally wrong. And I don't know if that actually answers your question. I have an issue with the fake news label because it's polarizing and ends debate. But is this a question of what do we do with people who commit felonies or are not citizens here? Or is this some feel-good feeling about, save the children because they're immigrants or they're less than human? No, we're all humans. Everybody has a right to live. We're not taking away any of their basic human rights. But if they come here and they commit felonies, we don't want them in this country. And someone can make the argument, why would we protect felonies? Would be my question back to you.